Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago. And it's 7 p.m. in New York City. Hello, everybody. I'm Mad Dog DeCipio, joined as I am each and every week by the mouth of the South herself, Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman. How are you, Amelia?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. What's happening? Anything exciting in the world of the mouth over here?
Nothing much. Just took it easy today, actually.
Good. Good for you. We are back this week with AJ and Dubs, my new friends. These are my proteges. This is AJ. I'm going to bring you up here. AJ with you. He's co-host of For the Record podcast, our new show that they're going to host. And this is Mac Dubs. He is also co-host of For the Record podcast. And let me just tell everybody right now, if you like them, you're going to love them even more because Amelia is going to produce these puppies. Brand new.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Amelia is going to produce For the Record. Yes, indeedy.
Mm-hmm.
So, what have you guys been up to since last time we saw you?
A lot of stress.
Relax, my friend. Relax.
If anybody's interested in a dog, I will pay anybody to come take him. He's a little much, and I've just about had it. So,
Aw.
love him to death, but he's just. So we had him neutered, and apparently he doesn't like that because now he'll wait until nighttime and just excessively bark and keep me up, and I'm the one that has to go in and out.
Yeah,
it's killing me.
Well, dogs are like kids. They require a lot of attention. They really do. They require a lot of attention.
Oh yeah.
So, we got somebody in the chat already. Oh, Amisu Vlogs. Oh, hello there, Amisu. Just about to introduce my friend Mac Dubs over here. So, Mac, do you know this Amisu here? I think she came here to see you.
No, I don't. Might be for AJ.
What, brother? That is some serious feedback and noise we're getting. Holy crap! Yeah, you're gonna have to mute that mic. Wow. Oh, I'm sorry, folks, but that's really loud. Let me see here. Why don't we do this? Let's bring our subject matter in tonight. Tonight, inside the serial killer mind, we are revisiting the Zodiac. We are going to revisit, reveal, and maybe throw a couple surprises your way regarding this now almost 50-year-old case called the Zodiac. And Amelia, we've done this before, but we're at the helm of a new day in the history of the Zodiac.
Wow.
Because we have new information. We're going to see some of it tonight. But let me bring AJ up here. Actually, no, let me bring Mac up first. So, Mac, talk to me about your knowledge of the Zodiac. Let me bring you up here.
Only from what my grandma used to tell me.
I'm going to smack you. You know that? Your grandma. You're making
me
feel old.
Well, hey, look. If it wasn't for my grandma, I wouldn't know a lot of stories. I don't know
You
too
know,
much.
I love your grandma, but you're not endearing yourself to me, son. I'm gonna tell you now. Oh my God, I'm
Oh,
gonna smack this kid. So your grandma told you, God help us. Your grandma told you about the Zodiac. What did she tell
yeah,
you about the infamous Zodiac?
she just told me that he basically has murdered a couple of people, and yeah, that's all I got. To be honest, I didn't get a good chance to study up on this, so I'm here to learn more than.
Oh, you're in trouble. Oh man, you're in deep shit. You're in deep shit tonight. AJ, redeem your team. It's time for AJ to redeem the team.
All right. So the Zodiac, I read up on it. I did my homework. Um, thank you. Thank you. So what I found interesting about the Zodiac was that he had the balls to pretty much reach out to the newspapers, do these different letters, and really put himself out there and make it a game. And the fact that he went that long uh, without getting caught
Mm-hmm.
was amazing. Reading up on it though, one has to wonder with his handwriting and everything, why didn't they even now they why didn't they put two and two together? Hand analysts, writing analysts, things like that. It's like, come on now, there's got to be something.
There absolutely is, and we're going to discover it tonight. You're going to see one of the reasons I wanted to revisit the Zodiac is because, as you know, if you watch and listen to the show daily, I am a ferocious reader. I do painstaking, crazy research, and I am seriously into uh, the history of serial killers and people like Jack the Ripper, Zodiac, the Yorkshire Ripper, people like the Boston Strangler. I'm into this stuff. I want to find out like what makes these guys tick. And so I do some seriously painstaking research. You're going to see tonight, probably for the first time, AJ, somebody will answer the questions that you just asked. And we're going to talk about that tonight. So let me tell everybody, if you don't know who the Zodiac is, well, let me give you a very brief history. The Zodiac Killer, self-named, is directly linked to 5 murders in San Francisco Bay Area of California in the late 1960s, 60s, and claimed to commit as upwards as 37 murders. He has never been identified, nor has he ever been caught. The self-proclaimed Zodiac Killer is directly linked to killings between 1968 and 1974. Now, people will tell you that the killings occurred from 68 to 70. They did, but the Zodiac reemerged again in 1971 and didn't stop till 74. Then he went away and was never heard from again. However, during that time, he was responsible for writing and teasing police. He sent correspondence to more than 13 California newspapers, mostly up in the San Francisco and Bay Area of California. Through that correspondence, he claimed, so he says, that he killed as many as 37 people. The police don't really believe him. They think he's trying to bump up his numbers a bit. Despite intensive investigations and multiple theories, they could only prove 5. 7 assaults, 5 murders, and 2 people that actually survived the Zodiac. The mystery surrounding the murders has been the subject of books, movies, including the critically acclaimed hit Zodiac by David Fincher. Now, let us talk. You got a brief history now of the Zodiac. Let us talk about who and what the Zodiac is. Amelia,
Yes.
let's talk. I'm going to bring you up here.
Mhm.
Let's talk a little bit of old school history here. Tell me what you know of, first of all, of what we discussed on previous shows and what you've learned about the Zodiac with regards to how he operates. Give everybody a little heads up into his mind.
Well, he likes to find people that are in a secluded area, for one, and
Absolutely.
he wants to make sure that nobody's around, of course, so he doesn't get caught mainly. And of course, from what I understand, it's like couples is what he's looking for, young couples.
Absolutely.
And after that, of course, he'll disappear for a little bit before he does another killing.
Yeah.
And then he, of course, like you said, sends letters off to the police and like that to taunt them, to say, haha, I did that, but you can't catch me, or you have caught
Wow.
me, or you've seen me walk around you.
Yeah.
And
He
and
loves
late
to tease the police too,
he
doesn't
does.
he?
He does. He'll love to tease them and to kind of give them riddles of how they can find him. But of course, those riddles are hard to solve.
He what she's talking about, folks, and she's absolutely right. A riddle is the best way to put it. If any of you are familiar with code breaking and ciphering codes, it's a very defined art form. It's hard to do, it's hard to write, and it's hard to break down. But whoever did this, and we think we know now, but we'll talk about that later. Whoever did this had serious military knowledge of code writing. Code writing back then is tantamount to writing computer script today, like using HTML and Java. Because you've got to have really specific knowledge to write HTML and Java. Think of it in terms of computers, okay? This guy was writing computer code that only other like-minded people could solve. Even the FBI, to this day, has never deciphered that cipher. And that's another word we got from this situation. We all hear the word decipher. I'm going to decipher this. Okay? The word decipher comes from uncipher, to take apart. And it's directly linked to the word cipher, which is a code, a riddle, a giant riddle. Think of it that way. So AJ, when and Mac, when you hear of things being deciphered and coded, you have now some working knowledge of, especially through the eyes of the Zodiac, exactly what we're talking about. Mac, I'm going to bring you up here, and so maybe I think some of your grandma's knowledge is going to come in to play over here. So let's. He's laughing at me. When now you're a young guy, okay? I don't think Mac is maybe 30, maybe. Or
He's looking at you.
did I make you too old? Let me unmute him. Hold on, you're muted. Okay. You unmute yourself there, son. There you go.
I don't know. What happened? Okay, I didn't hear anything you said.
Oh, so you're what, like you're like 30 maybe?
34.
Okay, so I was close. All right, so
Yep.
you weren't even thought of when Zodiac was doing his business. What do
No.
you know about the history of the Zodiac? Give me an idea of how you think this guy's head works. What's he all about?
Mind games.
Good way to put it. Yeah, real good way to put it for sure.
Mind games. It sounds like another person. They called him the Hangman. He kind of did the same thing, except he killed his victims by hanging them.
Yeah.
But he would always call the police and like, "Hey, I hung this man at the park.
Yeah.
And gave him all the details, and then he left like a little rope every time he would hang them, and then he
Yep.
would call the police station again and be like, all right, let's
Yeah.
play another game. So
And that's pretty much, yeah, I think you pretty well nailed the mentality of the Zodiac. He was all about playing the game. Absolutely. He was clearly in the mind games. He loved being able to tease the police, for sure. Absolutely. He also liked being able to one up everybody. He remembers something about serial killers. First of all, they think they're smarter than you. Number one. Number two, they think they'll never get caught. Number two. Number three, they don't ever consider themselves average. They are above average on every level in their mind. So when we talk about the Zodiac, we're talking about several people who claim to fit this profile and do indeed fit the profile. One name that's being bannered about today is Gary Francis Post. Do you guys know that name?
I do not.
Okay. How about the name Arthur Lee Allen?
Yes, I've heard of that one.
Mhm.
Okay. How about the name Ross Sullivan?
Sounds familiar.
By
that does
the
sound
end of this night,
familiar.
by the end of this night, I will convince you. I will absolutely convince you by the end of this night that Ross Sullivan, in my opinion, is the Zodiac Killer. Absolutely. There's no question in my mind that Ross Sullivan is the Zodiac Killer. Now, I want to show you a little video here. You're going to see two videos tonight. I'm going to show everybody kind of an introduction to the Zodiac. So let's take a look at this, folks. Watch. All right. I put that video together today. I think it came out pretty good, actually. I was really surprised. Okay, so let's talk about this. Anybody want to jump in here? Thoughts on the Zodiac? Who did it? Why did they do it? What's to gain, and why hasn't he been caught yet? Anybody?
So
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Millie. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Go ahead, AJ.
See, the first thing I noticed while looking it up was, and in my memories is so shot, but there was one couple that he had killed, and they had thought that it was possibly the woman's husband or boyfriend or something. They had some type of romance, and the killing after that, I guess, knew the couple from the first killing, and that's what I've noticed. Is like, if is there that's the pattern I've noticed was, okay, he's killing people that he knows or he has some type of relationship with, and then he's killing off, people that they're related to or that they know. And that had me thinking as to why he would do that. Maybe there was a dispute, maybe there was, infidelity, something going on there. But once you kill off one person for something like that, I don't know if it was the thrill of the hunt or just something that, kind of got into him, something he liked to do, and he just continued.
Well, everything you just said is plausible, completely plausible. I happen to agree, however, with Kenneth Jarrett Singleton, who says it's definitely Ross Sullivan. And you're going to see tonight a video I put together. Boy, we got some horrible feedback, fellas. You're going to have to mute your mic. Some serious feedback. Wow. So that's a lot better. But yeah, you're going to see why Kenneth Singleton and myself both believe that it's Ross Sullivan, a suspect. By the way, the police had him in custody. They had him. In 1968, they had him. And they let him go. They had to let him go. Amelia, why did they have to let him go? Tell everybody.
His girlfriend actually gave him an alibi, saying that he was at home with her having sex.
That's exactly what he said. The girlfriend said he was with me making love.
Mm-hmm.
She lied for him. He wasn't with her.
Well,
he didn't come back to her till like 3 o'clock in the morning. By that time, I believe he already did the damage.
Yeah.
Clearly did the damage. I'm gonna bring myself up here a little bit. I'm just, one of the things I enjoy, and everybody who watches the show knows, I enjoy teaching because it's kind of like what I do anyway. What are you laughing at me for? But AJ's absolutely right when he says that the thought early on was it was a jealous lover, a jealous husband, a boyfriend, somebody that had an axe to grind, personal. Here's where everything veered away. Here's where everything this was the game changer. He no longer was killing couples. He was killing people by themselves in secluded areas.
Yes.
He killed a cab driver. He took his money. He took his wallet, killed the guy, and then threw the wallet and the money back in the cab. That man's name was Paul Stein. He was a cab driver that got killed. A guy, by the way. He was the only guy that was murdered alone by himself. Any other guy that was killed with a girl. 5 people are confirmed to have been killed by the Zodiac, ballistically, evidentially, absolutely conclusively linked without a shadow of a doubt to the Zodiac. However, 2 people were shot but did not die. They survived against insurmountable odds. They survived. And they talked, and they said, this is what he looked like. This is how big he was. This is how he was built. And this is what he was wearing. And thankfully, those people survived, because now we know that the Zodiac was not 6'2". He was between 5'3" and 5'5". Number one. Number two. He had a series of different hoods and masks that he wore. The hood that he wore over his head and shoulders made him appear to be much bigger than he actually was. With that hood on, he may have actually been 5'11", 6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, easily. Because it was Huge. It was a bit. You'll see a picture of it tonight. In fact, you saw one in that little video, but you're going to see it again. The other thing fascinating about the Zodiac, he's the only killer in known history to send body parts of his victim to the police and the newspapers. Now, that takes a lot of balls to do that. It also takes a lot of knowledge to think that you're not going to get caught. I mean, this is why some people, listen to me now, I'm going to teach you something here. I can't say I'm going to smarten you up because my wife will get angry if I say that. So I'm going to educate you. I'll say that. One of the things we have to understand when we're talking about the Zodiac, that's not acceptable in here.
Love you, Anita.
Thank you, honey. My wife listens to the show through the
Did
floor.
you hear me? I love you, Anita.
I love that woman. She's crazy. Well, I married her. But here's what happened. A lot of people, AJ and Mac, a lot of people think that the Zodiac may have been a police officer because he didn't fear sending body parts to the police station and newspapers. And by the way, he sent a severed foot to a television station. You're going to hear that story tonight. I'm going to tell that story in a little bit.
Could he have had a military background because of
He absolutely, absolutely he did.
Right.
And the reason we know, Amelia, that he had a military background is that you're going to see the cipher that he sent.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to show that cipher again. It's absolutely staggering how complex this thing is, to the point where even the military today could not decipher it.
Right.
They couldn't. They tried. They had the best code breakers that the U.S. military has. Not one person to this date, not even today in 2024, no one has ever broken the cipher of the Zodiac. Never. Let me show you this again. I want to show you guys.
Amazing.
I want to show this again. Take a look at this. I just watch. Now, of course, you see the crosshairs, right?
Right.
You see the crosshairs. That's, if anybody here knows anything about the crosshairs, what is that used in? Targets, right? Military targets.
Yeah.
If you see the way the crosshairs is set up, it's set up like a Celtic cross.
Right.
That's the first clue. That's the first clue. There are people, AJ and Mac, Amelia, there are people who believe the Zodiac was a high-ranking Mason of Celtic origin. Okay? Watch the rest of this. Now, if you guys have questions, I will stop this anywhere along we could talk. By the way, this guy's name is Gary Francis Post. There is a group today in 2024 who says that he is the Zodiac, hands down, no question about it, unequivocally, he's the Zodiac. They went public with their findings. The police in San Francisco, California, made them eat their words because they presented that group with something that nobody ever saw coming. Evidence that only the police had. And it wasn't Gary Francis Post. Okay. Watch this. That's Arthur Lee Allen, this fella. He was considered by every account the prime suspect in the Zodiac. That was until this guy popped up. That's Arthur Lee Allen. Now, take a good look at him, because you're going to see a guy that looks an awful lot like him soon. That's his driver's license. There's his signature. That's what we're talking about, Amelia.
Mhm.
Look at that hood. Look how high that
Yeah.
hood is.
Yeah, it's very high.
It's very high. It's at least 1.5 feet. Okay. And here you see various suspects. Now, there's something else we have to look at. The Zodiac Killer, his signature and his note is on the left-hand side. That's definitively, absolutely, positively the Zodiac. Arthur Lee Allen, again, the prime suspect on the right side, on the right-hand side, he wrote the same words the police told him to write, okay? And he wrote this in front of the police. Not even close. It's not even close. This is the face that everyone believes is the Zodiac. Now, I want you to take very careful note. Mac, tell me what you see here. How good are your observation skills? Take a look at this. What are we looking at? And unmute yourself.
This is a photo of the supposed Zodiac Killer.
There's something particular about that photo. Take a real good look at it. What do you see? Let's see how good your observation skills are.
See, there's a sketch.
You're absolutely right. It's a sketch overlaid on a photo, and they are almost identical, even down to the shape of the glasses. Who is that person? His name is Ross Sullivan. You're going to see a lot more of him in a minute. There you go. This is why everybody thought that Zodiac was a big guy. If you look at him, he's a short, fat guy between 5'3" and 5'5", probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 220 pounds, wearing an extended hood and a body covering. Again, wearing that Celtic cross around his on his hood, around his neck. Again, Gary Francis post. There's the Cipher. Let's spend a few minutes looking at this. Any of you guys do puzzles? AJ, Mac, do you guys do puzzles?
Yes, somewhat.
I used to do like search a word puzzles, but yeah.
Can you make anything out there? Doesn't it look like one of those word find puzzles?
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes.
It looks like a word
like
find
a crossword.
Yeah, like so words are hidden in there.
Yeah. And here's the difference between a word find and a crossword, of course, and a cipher. You'll see letters and numbers in there, but you're also going to see something interesting. You're going to see very unusual Celtic symbols, old symbols that go back hundreds and hundreds of years. For example, the Celtic cross. You're going to see what looks like a reverse L, an L going the opposite way, or an upside down, like a sideways Z. Okay, but that's what we're talking about. That's called a cipher.
Could it be in Latin?
Yeah, but the best military people, even today, couldn't figure it. They still don't know what it is. But it's clearly military. By the way, this guy, I think he wanted to get caught. What are your thoughts on that, you guys?
Well, maybe eventually wanted to get caught, but I think he enjoyed the thought of killing. That was his thrill at the time.
So I
He enjoyed the killing.
got a
That's how
few.
he got off.
What do you think, AJ?
So a few theories here is well, first of all, when you're talking about the Celtic stuff, immediately I think of Ireland. I'm Irish, and so immediately I would think that if they really wanted to crack this case, why didn't they bring it to somebody in Ireland? Bring
Brother,
somebody.
I am going to make you such a happy camper right now.
Mhm.
I'm going to make you such a happy camper. I said Celtic. I said Celtic cross. I said old, hundreds of years old. You said the magic word, Ireland, okay? Tell me, just out of curiosity, what kind of name is Sullivan?
That's an Irish name.
That's as Irish as you get.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Ross Sullivan. I go back to my friend, Kenneth Jarrett Singleton. It's definitely Ross Sullivan, and I am going to show you why I believe that. Let's continue. These are the victims. I want to go back here.
Poor
I want to go back here. I'm going to stay on the victims. The guy with the glasses in the middle there.
Mhm.
The guy with the mustache and the glasses. His name is Paul Stein. He's the only guy that was murdered by himself. He's a cab driver. The Zodiac took his wallet and his money, killed the guy, and then threw his wallet and his money back in the back seat of the cab. So you can't tell me his motivation was robbery.
No.
Because he didn't take anything. He didn't take anything. He threw it in the back of the bloody seat. That's number one. Number two, you're looking at 8 people over here. Okay. We know that the Zodiac is responsible for 5 deaths. 2 escaped, and then there was Mr. Paul Klein. I'm sorry, Paul Stein.
Mhm.
Paul Stein was the only person who did not fit anywhere into any motive the Zodiac may have had prior to that time. That's why people believe, even to this day, AJ and Mac, even to this day, Amelia, the police, even some hardened police officers, believe that the Zodiac was a tag team. What are your thoughts on that? Let me drop this down so we can talk.
So, Angelo, real quick, because I've been thinking about this. Early on, we thought that it was a jealous lover, boyfriend, husband, whatever.
Yeah.
However, when he veered off and started killing singles, makes me wonder, and I'm just going to run with this theory here for a minute.
Sure.
What if that was his motive to begin with, but then he started killing the singles because it was so ingrained in his mind that he's seen, that single woman and immediately triggered a memory of his ex or his girlfriend or wife at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And even the cab driver in his mind could be the guy that she cheated on him with. So I mean, really, in his mind, he could still have that motive.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you.
Everybody else is going to throw everybody else off because they're not going to really think like that.
And I'm going to hold you on that point for a minute. Mac, Daddy Dubs. Mac, what do you've been too quiet tonight, Mac. What do you think
I've
here?
just been paying attention and observing, but I saw something earlier where it said
podcast. We talk. That's what we.
I saw something earlier where it said, "What if it could have been him and another person? What if he had a twin brother?"
No, they already ruled that out.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yep, they already ruled that out.
Okay.
Yeah, wasn't a twin. No, it was clearly, at least in my opinion.
Mhm.
I think we can definitively say now, because of the evidence and the history, I think clearly we can define one person as the Zodiac. But again, in the early days of the Zodiac's killing, he may very well have had another partner because of the drastic change in MO. Some people either believe A, it was a partner, or B, somebody called themselves the Zodiac, killed one person, got scared and never did it again, and then, hear me out, and then here comes another Zodiac using the same MO. What do we call that today in 2024? We call that a copycat killer.
Yes.
Guess what? They believe that's exactly what the fuck happened. They believe that the Zodiac got scared. He killed Paul Stein. He got scared, ran away. And because you didn't see or hear any murders for almost, God, 7-8 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
7, 8, at least that long, right?
Right.
And then here comes the quote Zodiac again, and he kills a young couple in a car on Lover's Lane. Right? He gets a little taste of blood. He does it again. And then the Zodiac does something nobody expected. There was a young woman broke down in her car. Okay? What do you think happened, Amelia? AJ, Mac, what do you think happened? He tried to kill her, right?
Yes.
He heard something he didn't expect. He heard a baby crying. He heard a baby crying.
And wasn't she pregnant as well at the time?
No, she had a baby with her. The woman had a baby with her.
Hmm.
So you want to talk about a special kind of sick. You know what he does?
We
He
talked about it last week.
He slows down, pulls over to the side of the road, and throws the baby out the window in the bassinet. Hold on. Wait. It gets better. Then he throws the woman out after it. Okay? And she didn't die. And the baby was okay too, thank God. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is a special kind of sick we're talking about. That's why we believe there were two Zodiacs, because Paul Stein did not in any way, shape, or form fit the MO at all, not even close. But the one person who did was Ross Sullivan. We've been talking a lot about Ross Sullivan. Let's finish watching this and then watch. There's that Cipher again. Does anybody know who this is?
I know he was an actor on American Horror Stories or something like that,
He is
right?
an actor, but he bears a striking resemblance to Arthur Lee Allen.
Yes.
A striking resemblance. This is John Carroll Lynch. John Carroll Lynch happens to be one of my favorite actors because he can do any kind of part.
Mm-hmm.
And when he played the Zodiac, he scared the shit out of even me because he was good. He played Arthur Lee Allen. Where do you see Arthur Lee Allen next to him? There's Arthur Lee Allen. Tell me they can't pass for brothers.
Oh, yeah.
All right? There he is, Arthur Lee Allen again. That's Gary Paul Post and the Gary Francis Post. There's a better look at that Cipher.
Well, the
Now,
first
let me-
letters that stand out is her.
Yeah,
HER
let
on it.
me no, it's actually not, Neil.
Oh,
I got a question.
I want to bring your attention to the right-hand side of the screen. It says, "Sorry, I have been," and you can't see, but written lately. It says, "I'm sorry, I have been busy. I would have written." And then says, "But I just washed my pen," is what he said. Okay. This was part. Yeah, go ahead, AJ. I mean, Mac. Go ahead.
So no, I was looking at that, and it seems like, I mean, I don't know a lot about this, but it seems like he wrote this in blood.
I think he wrote it to get caught, to be honest with you. Like I said before, I think this guy was crying out to get caught. I really do.
wow.
That's just my theory. Oop, there we go. Where's that one I wanted to show you? Oh, this is Gary Francis Post, the guy who they say may be. Here we go. The guy they say may be. Mr. Fleming, Mr. John Fleming, okay, was the Zodiac a tag team effort? This is why I wanted to bring this up. We talked about two different Zodiacs. Arthur Lee Allen is on the right. Mr. John Fleming is on the left. What do you notice about John Fleming and Arthur Lee Allen?
Let's see. Well, besides the one wearing glasses, the one not, one has a fatter face, the other one has a slimmer
That's
face.
exactly what I'm looking for. One had a fat face, the other one had a long face.
Mm-hmm.
In the early Zodiac pictures, they drew him with a long face. In the later Zodiac pictures, they drew him with a rounder face.
Yeah.
Okay? The only thing that stayed the same is that Arthur Lee Allen did wear glasses, but he always took them off for pictures. That's one thing we know from his family. Remember, the earliest Zodiac was 1967. Okay? It's very, very possible, and I believe plausible, that the Zodiac was two killers. Now, we talk a lot about Ross Sullivan. Before we talk about Ross Sullivan, here we go. Steve Edwards. Steve is here. Hey, Steve.
Whoa.
How are you? Have you tried microdosing and involved? Oh, goodbye, Steve. Let Amelia ban him, please.
Okay.
Ban him. We don't want that kind of bullshit here. Not on my show, son of a gun. I'm trying to watch my mouth, folks. So, because I'm going to have to start putting money in the swear jar, and I can't afford it.
So, Mad Dog, real quick.
Yes, sir.
I've been thinking on this too. While reading up on the case, I came across the New York Zodiac, and I don't know if you guys have.
I know all about the New York Zodiac. Yes.
And so, while talking about the possibility of there being two Zodiacs, I mean, you see how it has inspired the New York Zodiac. However, at least we both know how that turned out. He didn't last very long. He got caught.
Well, you just nailed it right there. You just nailed it right there. That therein lies the biggest difference. Because in New York, there was this copycat. He was so enamored with the Zodiac, this guy actually went out and killed people. Okay? But he was so sloppy. He got caught almost immediately. Okay? A Spanish fella. Why? I don't know. I can't get into somebody's head and tell you why they do what they do. I can speculate. He wanted to be like his hero, the Zodiac. Well, guess what? Now you're going to live the rest of your life in jail, and you're never going to get out but in all probability, your idol, the Zodiac, lived in a ripe old age and died without getting caught. Okay, now, because that's what I believe happened. Before we go any further, I have to do some commercials, folks. We will take some short commercial breaks. We'll be back right after this. What's the Buzz Podcast? Welcome to K-Pop Radio in Seoul, South Korea. Welcome aboard and welcome to the Buzz. For expert body work and collision repair, there's only one place in Clementon, New Jersey. It's Bruce's Collision Center at 114 White Horse Pike in Clementon, New Jersey. Call Bruce at 856-783-1475 and tell him the Mad Dog sent you from WWTF Radio, global and around the world. Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code Wrestling Future for a generous 20% discount. That's enter Wrestling Future for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com and Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com and the Lawnmower 3.0. Your balls will thank you, and so will we. We are back with America's Best Podcast. What's the Buzz? We are broadcasting on WWTF Radio 88.7 on the broadband radio system, global and around the world. Tonight's show, revisiting the Zodiac inside the serial killer. I am Mad Dog DeCipio, joined by Amelia the Pitbull Chapman, by AJ with you. I'm with you, AJ. And Mac Daddy Dubs. Big Mac. He's been quiet tonight. Mac Daddy's been quiet. And yeah, you better not be quiet on your podcast because I'll come up there and jack your jaw.
I won't be.
I'll make you talk, baby. You kidding me? I got ways of making people talk. Remember that. I was in the wrestling business. I got ways of making people talk. Absolutely. Hey, absolutely. You bully. That's people used to love when I did Rocky. Anyway, we are going to take a look at a video. We're going to watch the whole video first. Then we're going to come back and talk about this. Take a look. That, my friend, was Ross Sullivan. All of it. Every one of those guys was Ross Sullivan. We're going to go around the horn over here. I have a couple of pieces of information that I'm going to give to you. After we offer our opinions on what do you think? I'll start with you, Amelia, and then we'll work around. We'll go to Amelia, we'll do AJ, then we'll do Mac. Start with you. What do you think, having seen that?
It looks a
Does
lot.
it change your perspective at all?
That guy looks a lot like the drawings of that they did, and with the height and everything. Does it fit the height that they had said of him? The 5'5", 5'4" height. And if you put the mugshot together, I mean, it looks just like him. The composite. I mean, if you would say
The
match it up.
other thing that I was hoping that you would catch up on,
Mhm.
and I'll show you here in a
Well,
second.
I mean, the glasses, everything fits. I mean, the
Yeah,
face.
I want you to. There's something I want you to see though.
Mhm.
And I'm going to try and bring it up for you.
Okay.
Let me see something here. Here we go. Hold on.
He looked like a lot.
Here it is,
One
right
of
here.
the
I found it.
victims,
I
too.
found it.
Yeah.
I
The
found
age
what I'm
com-
looking for.
Yeah, the age comparison looks just.
Well, not only that,
Mhm.
not only the age comparison, but take a look at the shape of his face.
Yeah.
When he was younger,
It was skinny,
he
and then
had
it
a
just went.
longer, even though he had a longer face, it was still round.
Yeah, no matter what.
As he got older and his hair started to get grayer, his face got even more round. So he fits the
Mhm.
same guy. Hear me out, guys. The same guy fits both profiles. Think about that. Think about that. The same guy. Oh, yeah, Kenneth. Kenneth brings up important. Notice the pictures where he's with others. He's socially awkward, which aligns with autism. And we already know the
Mhm.
Zodiac was autistic. He was an
Yeah.
absolute numbers genius.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example of what I'm talking. You guys know who John Nash is? A Beautiful Mind, the movie,
Yeah.
A Beautiful Mind.
Yes.
Okay. John Nash was way out on the spectrum of autism, right? This guy was brilliant, John Nash. Ross Sullivan is right there with him. Absolutely brilliant. And as Kenneth says, he's an absolute mathematical genius. That's why the cipher that I believe he wrote to this day will never be broken. It's never been broken. AJ, you've got this question mark on your face.
I know he's like this, like.
You got like something you want to say. Go for it, my friend. Absolutely, go for it.
So two things. One, you had mentioned earlier that Sullivan always took his glasses off for pictures.
No, not Sullivan.
The other one,
Arthur Lee Allen. Yes.
Oh, okay. So the one that so then that was my mistake. However, the second thing I've noticed was we were talking about him being autistic,
Yes.
and that the cipher was almost military. That he was part of the military or was in the military. And,
United States Army.
Right. And now I don't know what it was like back then, but at least for me growing up, my father was in the military, and a lot of the males in my family were also military. From my understanding, that is, if you had, because I was going to go into the military myself, but to my knowledge, if you have a disability like autism or something like that, you're automatically disqualified. Again, I don't know what it was like back then.
It wasn't like that back then. They took back then. They took everybody.
Yeah, they had to.
If you could stand up and walk on your own 2 feet, they took you. You were drafted into service,
Okay.
and you didn't have a choice. You were drafted. Yep, absolutely. In fact, you had to be 18 years of age. They were taking kids as young as 17 if they were big enough.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, there were. Let me tell you something, especially down south in like Tennessee and Texas.
Mhm.
Do you know why Texas and Tennessee are so patriotic? Because those people, they want to go fight. They got kids right out of high school, 17 years old.
They did.
They can't wait to enlist today.
Yeah.
Today. But then people up in New Jersey and New York say, fuck you, you can have it. You go enlist. You fight. You know, I'm going to the hoagie shop. I'm going to go have a cup of coffee or whatever. You know?
Yeah. I can
Different
remember
culture,
that.
different society. Texas. They live for this shit in Texas. Are you kidding
I
me?
can attest to that because when I
Ask
graduated my
Amelia.
graduating class, a lot of my friends, about a dozen of them, say, I'm going to the military.
And that's right out of high school.
Right out of high
Right
school.
out of high school. That's what they used to do. Graduate, drive to the airport. That was it.
Yep.
Tonight, revisiting the Zodiac. I am Mad Dog DeCipio, joined by Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, AJ with you, and Mac Daddy Dubs. These two guys are going to host our new show here called For the Record. Yeah, well, say, Mad Dog, you got a show called On the Record. Yeah, it is on the record. It's still on the record. It'll always be on the record. That's my show. This is their show called For the Record.
For the record. Mm-hmm.
It's a different thing. It's a whole different thing. You know why? Because one is on the record and one is for the record.
For the record. Yeah.
Hot damn. And Amelia's going to be producing them. Back to the chat. Let's see. Leon.
Leon's here.
Leon got smart. He said, fuck this shit. Absolutely. Hey, I missed you, Leon. Where the hell you been, you bastard?
I know. He usually is the first one to
Jesus.
comment.
He's usually the first one in, for crying out loud. Jeez.
Man, I almost did in 2008.
You almost did?
Yeah.
Let's-
Going to the Coast Guard.
Oh, Coast Guard. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Cool. I enlisted in the Marines because I'm crazy like that. Look, somebody.
So did
had
my
to do it.
cousins.
Marines
Somebody had
were
to do it.
bastards back in the day. My uncle was in the Marines, and if you stepped out of line, this was back when they could put their hands on you, and he stepped out of line and had his hand broken in 3 different spots.
Oh.
Brother, the Marines don't fuck around. They
No.
do not fuck around. Let's get back to this. Take a look at this, guys.
Oh,
Look
wow.
at that. Look at you're looking at the same guy. You're looking at the same guy. The guy on the left is the same as the guy on the far right.
Wow.
The guy in the middle, I want you to notice something very particular. The guy in the middle is the sketch of the infamous, now famous sketch
Mhm.
of the Zodiac Killer. Take a look. I want you to notice the glasses. Take a look at the glasses of the guy on the left. Take a look at the glasses of the guy on the right. They're the same glasses.
Right.
Look at the guy wearing the glasses in the middle. It's the same glasses. Okay? Nobody is going to tell me, no one is going to tell me that Ross Sullivan isn't the Zodiac. I don't care who you are. That's the Zodiac.
And the hairline is the same from the
Thank
guy
you.
with the dark hair.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, people said, well, he had dark hair. Yeah, well, let me tell you something. I had dark hair too, till it got gray. What happens if it gets too gray? I'm going to take that bottle out and I'm going to color that mother.
Yeah.
Son of a gun. Okay?
So, Mad Dog, is this you admitting that you're the Zodiac? Because, I mean, you look at the sketches and then you turn around and talking about you having
Well,
dark
man,
hair.
I got the same glasses. I don't know. What do you think? How about this? Nah,
You know what?
I
don't know the guy on the right side did kind of favor you a little bit there.
I know. It's a scary thought, ain't it?
Well,
Right?
Yep.
Scary thought. I'll tell you what's scary. Take a look at my new poster Amelia and I made for the show. Oh my God, it's hilarious. By the way, the poster that I did for you guys I couldn't duplicate that if I wanted to. That was like inspired, all right? That was
freaking
inspired.
Mhm.
And it was
That
brilliant.
was great. We loved it.
Fucking brilliant. Questions about the Zodiac. What do you say?
Well, I think even if you look at the sketch anyway, and the two guys, they're the same guy, right? But the glasses are military glasses anyway, too, because that's what they used to.
Yeah, they're
Mhm.
standard issue, sure.
Yeah.
And by the way, a lot of people in the military still go to
Yes.
military optometrists and get their, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
their specs
They
done.
do.
It's you get used to it, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't know.
You do.
Um,
I
I
don't know.
just
I was looking at those photos, and the guy on the right with the darker hair, his glasses were, I don't know, just to me, it looked more oval. And then the guy on the left with the lighter hair kind of
I
looked more
think they
like
may have looked
Mad
oval
Dog's hair.
because well, and you know what, Mac, you may have a point there, but I think the reason they may have looked oval is because he was doing this. He turned had his head turned like this.
Oh, okay,
You
I
know?
got you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Got you.
And if you look at my glasses straight on and then watch me turn my head, they take on a different shape, don't they?
Yeah. See, they do a
Yeah.
little bit.
It all depends. Like it literally depends on whether you're looking this way or straight ahead.
Mhm.
I mean, it literally depends on which way you're looking as to what shape your glasses take. You know, Amelia
Yeah.
wears glasses. She wears them every show. But there are times that she doesn't wear glasses, but to me, it still looks like she's wearing them
Mhm.
because I'm used to seeing her
Yeah. See.
a certain way.
Mhm.
Put them back on, or you're going to have the chat room filled with boys again. Okay. This is too much stuff over here. I can't deal with this shit. Then I got to explain to Jeff and Joseph, like, why am I all these men popping up? Because your wife won't keep her freaking glasses on. Anyway. Ah, Jesus. This is what you see what
That's
she
okay. That's
the
okay. They
shit
don't
I
want to
have
buy
to go
champagne, so
through.
I'm good.
We got a
Let me
wild
tell
one.
everybody. All of our links on the show are in one great location. Go to linktree.com/WWTF radio. Everything you need to know about us. We are on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora. We're on Stitcher. We are on Amazon Music. iHeart. I said iHeart. What else? What is the other one? Oh, God, Amelia, where are we? We're everywhere.
We are also on. Let's see, because you said Facebook too, but we're not. Look at Leon.
And Leon says I'm taken. Who? Nobody wants you, Leon. You and Rosie. Jesus, give me a break.
He's got Rosie.
He's happy with Rosie. I
We are
know.
also on Instagram as well. We're also, of course, YouTube. We also are on Truth. We're on. You have a TikTok page as well.
Yep. I want everybody to know you can join our YouTube channel for just $2.99 a month. You will see stuff that you do not see and hear on our normal YouTube channel. We are on YouTube TV. We are on YouTube.com. We are on Vimeo, Voodoo, Yuvu. We are on Odyssey.com. We are on Roku. We are on Tubi TV. We are all over we're everywhere. If you can find us, we're there. Okay, so like we're there. You'll find
Audible as well through Amazon as well. We're on Pod Owl as well.
Yes.
Tune in.
Yes.
Mhm.
Find us on
Play-
Amazon Music. We're there. Audible.com.
Boom Play. Don't forget that.
Yes. I mean, she knows more because this is what she does.
Yep.
I can't keep up with everything. We are at What's the Buzz Popcast at gmail.com. If you have a show idea, comment, question that you didn't get to ask on the show, trust me, folks, when I tell you this email, and believe me, I'm not even bullshitting you. This email gets jammed. We get emails from every country you can think of. Okay? Every country, because a lot of people don't see us, but they hear us. We're very, very big. We're bigger on the radio than we are on the video platform. And quite frankly, I like it that way. Would I like to have more YouTube subscribers? Of course I would. But I got almost 12 million subscribers on radio. I got 8.5 million of them just on Spotify,
Mm-hmm.
and another 3 million on what's the other one? iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tune in. We're on tune in. Well, oh my God, I can't keep track of all of them. Jeez whiz. The other thing we want to let everybody know, at the end of the show, you will see our credits roll. Do not, trust me when I tell you this, do not turn off the credits. There's an important message after our credits. If you or someone you know is hurting and need help, we have the National Substance Abuse Hotline, AA, Cocaine Anonymous, the National Runaway Hotline, Narcanon, Cocanon, you name it, we've got a phone number for you to call. Suicide Prevention Hotline, call 988. If you're really in desperate need to talk, there's somebody 24/7, 365 at 988. But what do we got going on, fellas? I want to bring, let me bring Mac up here. I'm going to bring on the big camera, Mac. What do you got coming up, kid? What do you and AJ got coming up on your first show?
That's a surprise.
A surprise?
That's a surprise.
A surprise?
Yeah.
Amelia, you know about this?
No.
No, she doesn't.
She's the producer and she don't know.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It must be a hell of a surprise because I don't even know. All right, AJ, I got to bring you up here. You got to spill the beans here. What's he talking about?
So, our premiere for the Record is going to be at 8:30 on the 8th. I believe that's
absolutely correct. Yes, sir.
So, still working out some details. Amelia will get together, of course, after the show and everything. But yeah, definitely everybody tune in. It's going to be a great show, and look forward to having you all there. And it's going to be some big stuff. So
David Hadley says, you guys know David Hadley? David Hadley says, I know it's a very nefarious thing to be the greatest of, but the Zodiac is the greatest serial killer in American history. And you know what? I agree with you, David, because he hasn't been caught. I believe I think, no bullshit, guys. I think we have seriously identified him and given him a name. I believe I can conclusively say, based on my and I mean years when I tell you, my years of research, my years of following the case, speaking to the people. We've had the San Francisco Police Department on the show. They've commented on our shows. I can tell you that I believe this is the guy. I really, really believe that Ross Sullivan is the Zodiac. I think we can say that. Arthur Lee Allen was a good go for a while, but then there's certain things didn't add up. Whoever it is, never been found for certain. You're absolutely right, David. Listen, David, let me invite you back. You sound like a guy we would love to have in our chat room more often.
Yes.
Love to have you here. Why don't you join us every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? And, of course, the guys will be here Thursdays and Fridays from 8:30 till, I think, 8:30 till 10, or is it 8:30 till 9:30? What are we doing, guys, an hour or 90 minutes?
It's going to be 8:30 to 10 is usually how we like to run it.
Okay, good. 90 minutes. Excellent. That means I'll be able to pop in on you from time to time.
And you will.
And I will, too. Absolutely.
More than
well,
welcome.
let me tell everybody, if you enjoy what you see and hear, we are here every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 7 o'clock until whenever. We're very, very liberal. Our sponsors love us, so they say, go if you want to go longer, cut it short if you want to be short, but have fun. And we love our sponsors. I want to say thank you to Bruce's Collision. Thank you to manscaped.com. And God bless the people at Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. Oh, dear God. I mean, just everywhere. I just love these people.
Oh.
They have made us like, I mean, in some countries, first of all, thank you. We
Mhm.
are the #1 podcast in New Zealand again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Jimmy Thunder let us know. Yep.
Oh,
Absolutely.
fantastic. Well,
We love it.
David sent another message if you want to see what he said.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yep.
I will join when I'm able and when I'm remembered. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Oh, we got another Benoit show coming, brother. We're gonna blow your mind with this one. I found out something AJ and Mac don't even know. We need to find out this shit. Oh boy.
David, we're here
Yeah.
at 7 Eastern
There,
time.
there was definitely a Guerrero involved, but you're gonna shit your pants when I tell you who it was.
Is it who I
Oh my
think
God.
it is? Did I kind of hit on
Yeah, you and I talked about it before. Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
Oh,
did I not say that I had a source that pointed me in that direction?
Well, let's not tip the hat, okay?
I'm not gonna say anything because I knew what I knew it.
For
Mhm.
AJ with ya, for Mac Daddy Dubs, for Amelia the Pitbull Chapman. I am Mad Dog, Angelo DeCipio. I will see you every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on America's Best Popcast. What's the buzz? Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.